I'm Bria Comer, and today's topic is executive perks, when to start deferred comp. Executives from many companies often have the ability to defer compensation on their own. Money that's deferred is your own money, and therefore, it's immediately vested. Deferring comp allows you to get paid that money and all of its earnings in retirement rather than being paid out today. This is especially useful when you start to exercise stock options or stock appreciation rights. Let's say someone who has $350,000 of income is also getting $150,000 of SARs income every year, and it would be ideal to be able to defer the $150,000 of SARs income. While we can't defer the SARs themselves, we can defer a piece of the $350,000 plus bonus. Now, each company will put limits on how much you're allowed to defer, but let's say we can do 50% on base and 80% on bonus or any incentive comp that you get once a year. You're allowed to invest income you defer the same way you normally would inside of a 401k. You can be market-driven while you're young with your deferred comp, and you can be more balanced as you head toward retirement. Today, what I want to focus on is the concept of when to start deferred comp. We have worked with people who have started this too early and have been hurt because their stock price suddenly drops, and they have no income coming in from SARs. And that's the big issue here. SARs are a highly variable source of income every year because they're leveraged. A swing in your company's stock creates an even bigger swing in the amount of taxable rent and therefore income you're going to receive. Now, juxtapose this with the fact that because of where you are in your career, you probably have teenagers or college students, and you're pouring out money either to save for college or for grad school. Because of these big expenses, we have a rule of thumb when it comes to deferring comp. What we like to see is 200% of your withdrawal needs sitting in an accessible account. For example, if we're planning to defer $200,000, we'd like to see $400,000 sitting somewhere like Vanguard. It can be in equities, it can be in fixed income, it can be in bank accounts. But if you have that $400,000 liquid, then we have no qualms about deferring compensation this year. Even if the market drops and your SARs don't materialize, you will still have plenty of money to supplement what was maybe only 50% of your paycheck. And we still want to max out your 401k. Even if you're deferring 50% of your paycheck, that's still a must. That 200% gives you some protection. And that's what we're looking for. The second key planning component that we think about that is important when starting deferred comp or beefing up deferred comp, and that's when the government moves from left to right or from right to left. For example, in 2012, President Obama said, I'm going to go after $450,000 of income. And we went from having a top bracket of 35% on December 31st, 2012, to a more onerous income tax of 39.6 plus the 0.9% penalty overnight. So we jumped to a top tax bracket of 40.5% in literally 3 days. There is a sunset provision in the current tax code. It says unless Congress expressly creates a new plan, these current tax rules will sunset back to the Obama-era brackets in January of 2026. And that brings me to my second component of deferred comp strategy. If you have that $300,000 or $400,000 sitting, and you can see that your personal brackets are about to go up due to these government changes, it is a great time to start beefing up or start deferring compensation. If you can defer $200,000 of your income, you can stay below that 40.5% bracket. Before you retire, you will have one final decision. How do you have your deferred comp paid out to you? Many companies allow a one-time change to your payout selection, and you have to make that change before you retire. We will have to consider where tax brackets are and make sure we're making our choice accordingly. But again, today's goal was to just talk about when to start deferred comp. We think you need to have a cushion to be able to start, especially for more heavy deferrals. Deferred comp then becomes a big part of executives' tax and retirement strategy. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found this helpful.